And an HOA ban a vacation rental. Let's talk about it. So this question came from someone who reached out to me via my email address, and they asked, can an HOA ban a vacation rental? So let's first start talking about what exactly an HOA is. An HOA is a homeowners association. That's what HOA stands for. Most neighborhoods have them, and they're set up for different reasons. Some HOAs maybe are set up just to take care of something like a private road. Some have very strict rules when it comes to what you can and can't do in the community itself. It's also very important to keep in mind that each HOA is going to be different. Some cities are very short-term rental friendly, while others, like my city, are not. The market that I live in, again, are not friendly towards short-term rentals. If you're looking to buy or build a property and rent it out as a short-term rental, then it's important to know upfront if the short-term rental will be allowed in the community. This information can be found on the listing of the property if you're purchasing through the MLS, or it can be found by asking the seller of either the property or the land that you're purchasing. It's usually an agreement that outlines what can and can't happen in the community. If an HOA exists in a community then that you're looking to operate a short-term rental in, then make sure you read the HOA agreement. For every community that you are deciding to invest in, and make sure you read that agreement very carefully too. You may find out that the community allows short-term rentals, but they have very strict guidelines on how to operate them. If you come across this, then I'd recommend just staying away from properties like this. Again, every area is going to be different. If I'm looking at a property and I see an HOA or a gated community listing in my area, I tend to stay away from it because I know that HOA is, for the most part, not going to allow my property to be rented out as a short-term rental. In some markets, HOAs are created specifically to protect short-term rentals in the community. I would ask your agent or your builder what's normal in the city if you're new to it. HOAs can be like complete wild cards, and I've heard of some hosts that do get burned because they assumed that the city allowed for short-term rentals but did not know that the HOA inside the community did not allow it. Now, what happens in an HOA where you are allowed to rent out your property, but the HOA updates their rules to not allow it? Usually you should be grandfathered in, but there was a host in my market that I had talked to that said that the new HOA rules that were passed in the community did not allow for any short-term rentals, and he wasn't allowed to be grandfathered in. In that case, he took them to court and surprisingly ended up winning his case. Now, I don't say that to scare you, but it is something that could come up if you're operating in an HOA. Currently, none of my builds or properties reside in HOAs. If you have determined that the market that you are in does not allow for short-term rentals in the HOAs, then make sure you tread lightly when looking at properties that may be sent to you. The reason being is I have had properties that have been shown to me that were in very strict HOAs, and I just didn't check up on it until I almost put an offer in on the property. So where does HOA restrictions fall in the larger scheme of things in regards to the city and the county short-term rental rules? Here's the best way to explain it. You have county rules, and then you have city rules below that. And then you have HOAs, which are the neighborhood rules. Before you consider a new market, make sure you verify that the county and the city allow for short-term rentals. If you can say yes to either the city or the county, then check if the individual neighborhood then allows them. If there isn't an HOA in place and the county or the city allows for short-term rentals, then you should be good. I hope this video has helped you understand HOAs a little bit better and if an HOA can ban your vacation rental. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I hope everyone is staying safe, and I'll see everyone on next week's video.